The following video is about Nate, a man who still hasn't been able to figure out what exactly he's dealing with or how to stop it. Over time, the activity in his house has gone from unsettling to genuinely alarming. He's been waking up with unexplained scratches on his body and hears footsteps moving through the house when no one else is there. One morning, after finishing his workout and preparing breakfast, he started hearing a clicking sound. At first, he assumed it was the TV, maybe even the heat vent, but after listening more closely, he realized the sound was coming from the kitchen. It sounded exactly like a stove burner clicking, the noise it makes right before igniting. Concerned it could be a gas issue, Nate rushed into the kitchen to check, and that's when this happened. Watch.
The pan is still on the stove, still warm. All the burners are off. But I kept hearing the clicking, like the burner was trying to come on. Like I said, I just finished cooking. I was sitting there drinking my coffee, and I was hearing. And it sounded like it was... Bro. Why with the knives? Why with the knives? Why? Why with the knives?
The clicking sound alone was disturbing, because this was the first time it had ever happened. But what really pushed viewers into panic was what followed, the knife. For the fact that this wasn't the first time, many believe this moment marks a shift in whatever Nate is dealing with. Paranormal researchers often say there's a difference between passive activity, noises, footsteps, shadows, and intentional aggression. Throwing objects, especially sharp ones, is widely considered a warning sign. And the most terrifying part is that Nate hasn't figured out what to do next. So, until more updates are given, this case remains completely unsolved. This next video was captured by a home security camera. Around 2 a.m., the homeowners received a motion alert and decided to check the footage, expecting maybe an animal or someone passing by. But what they saw left them shaken. Watch. The family replayed the clips several times, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. When they were unable to come up with a logical explanation, they shared the footage with a few of their neighbors, hoping someone might recognize the figure, or at least explain why it looked so disturbingly human. The video ended up spreading, and longtime residents of the area immediately knew who, or what, the figure resembled. According to locals, the apparition looks strikingly similar to a woman who died in a car accident near that very stretch of road back in 1948. For decades, people who've lived in the area have quietly shared stories about a woman seen walking late at night, appearing briefly, then vanishing without a sound. Some believe spirits tied to sudden deaths don't realize they're gone, repeating the same path night after night. Others think certain locations become imprinted with trauma, replaying fragments of the past like a broken recording. What makes this even more unsettling is that the family who captured this footage had only recently moved in. They had no knowledge of the area's history, no stories passed down, no warnings. So for now, all anyone can hope is that appearing and disappearing in the dead of night is all she ever does. Now, in this next clip, Kyle heads down to his basement early in the morning, and this time it's nothing like what he's dealt with before. In the past, it was children giggling, soft footsteps, the sound of something small moving around. But this morning, it's loud and violent. Watch.
Footsteps all freaking night. Who's knocking on my basement door? Lock. Okay, let's go back upstairs.
When the noise stopped, Kyle opened the door and found no one there. At first, he went for the simplest explanation. Maybe someone heard him coming and ran, maybe it was a prank, or maybe there's a logical reason he just hasn't thought of yet. But that theory falls apart almost immediately. Outside, the ground is covered in fresh snow. If anyone had been down there, child or adult, there should have been footprints leading away from the house, but there were none. Whatever was by the door didn't leave the way a physical person would, or maybe it didn't need to leave in the first place, because it's in the house just changing how it manifests. Some believe this suggests the activity is evolving, because it once sounded playful, now it feels aggressive. For Kyle, this isn't just another strange moment to shrug off, it's another unanswered question in a situation that keeps escalating, and becoming harder to explain. So until more updates are shared, this one remains unsolved. In this next video, a family says they've been tormented by relentless knocking late at night. Sometimes it's light, other times it turns into aggressive banging on the front door, loud enough to send the children into tears. The father has tried everything he knows, cleansing the house, daily prayers, asking for protection, and each time it works, but only temporarily. One night they woke up again, but this time it wasn't knocking that pulled them out of sleep. Listen closely.
Johnny, es la voz de la niña, papi.
Sí, pero...
De Marco.
No.
¿Cómo no? Si es la niña.
Pero
¿No
no
ha
es...
pasado algo?
No. Ya sabes que no es la niña, ya sabes que no es la niña. Ya no va a subir aquí. Ya sabes que no es la niña.
Entonces,
Pues espérate.
es que oye,
Está aquí afuera, ¿ah?
sí, no habrá pasado algo.
No, tú tranquila, no pasó nada. Es eso que nos habla. Pero no le voy a abrir. Voy a bajar.
Con cuidado.
No mames, güey. Ah, cabrón. Miren, amigos, no hay nadie. Ya es de madrugada y mis hijos no están, se fueron a dormir con su abuela. No hay absolutamente nadie. Escuchan los ruidos. Uy. Escuche. Yo creo que ya no es hora de estar... Se escuchó aquí. Son casi las 2 de la madrugada. Ya les mostré. No hay absolutamente nadie. Ya está todo cerrado. Está todo cerrado, yo me voy.
What immediately unsettled viewers is that the voices being heard sound like a girl, yet the kids in the house who are old enough to speak weren't even home that night. But there's another detail people couldn't ignore. In the house is a Labubu doll. While Labubu is widely known as a collectible designer toy, online forums are filled with unsettling stories tied to it. Some owners claim their dolls move slightly when no one is around. Others report unexplained knocking, whispering, or a sudden shift in atmosphere after bringing one into their home. A few even say activity escalated after prayers or cleansing, a detail that eerily mirrors this family's experience. Skeptics argue the doll is just a coincidence, a harmless object becoming a focal point because fear needs something tangible to attach to. But others believe objects don't have to cause paranormal activity to become anchors for it, especially in homes where something already seems to be present. What makes this case disturbing is the pattern. The knocking stops after cleansing, then returns, the voices mimic children who aren't there, and whatever is happening doesn't seem driven away, just temporarily pushed back. So is the doll acting as a trigger? Or is this something entirely unrelated, using familiar sounds to provoke fear? I'll leave you to be the judge on this one. Now, this next clip was recorded inside a retirement home, a building with a quiet but unsettling history. Long before it became a care facility, the property reportedly served as a private infirmary in the early 1900s, taking in patients who were considered too difficult for hospitals at the time. Several former staff members have claimed that deaths were frequent, poorly documented, and often handled during overnight hours to avoid upsetting residents. Over the years, rumors spread about certain rooms being avoided by night nurses, especially those on the upper floors. At around 3 a.m. one morning, this happened.
Oh, I know where that's at.
We have left God's past to follow our own. The sins of us all. I can't think of any better reason to do the next good thing today, so let's pass on. I'm Alex in this reverse of the day. I'm positive, encouraging K-Love.
We work with a lot of dead people.
What makes this moment disturbing is where the man recording was standing. Before the radio started blaring, he was directly below the room and didn't hear a single footstep above him. So, who turned it on? At first, staff tried to brush it off as a one-time glitch, but about an hour later, it happened again.
Dude, no. 'Cause no. Dude, no.
Oh, hell no. It turned on again? You're lying.
And someone had to turn the dial all the way the other way for it to be doing this.
I don't know what's going on.
Again this time, there were no signs of anyone entering or leaving the room. Months later, after a string of more subtle occurrences, doors found unlocked, lights switched on in empty rooms, the faint sound of movement in halls long after residents were asleep, the man experienced something far more unsettling. Listen closely.
I am hearing shit. And it sounds like me. Oh my god, that's please. I don't think it's Caleb. Hello.
Different words can be heard clearly. Phrases like, "What are you doing?" And then, as he stood on the stairs, a voice saying, "She's coming." In places like retirement homes, where residents, nurses, and night staff move quietly through dim corridors, some believe spirits linger, attached to routines, rooms, or even specific people. So what's the case here? Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his investigation inside the infamous Boyd house. His next stop was the children's room, a space filled with old, unsettling dolls. The last time Ian was here, this section of the house left him more shaken than any other. This time, he carefully scanned the room, trying to see if anything or anyone was present.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Holy moly. I'm not alone. I am not alone in here. Okay, just calm down. Let's take a look.
What makes this moment especially disturbing is that just moments earlier, Ian had clearly seen the bear sitting completely still beneath the chair. As if that wasn't enough, just as Ian prepares to leave the room and move on to the next section of the house, something else happens.
Look in that room with the cursed painting again. I don't know. Oh, what the? What the? That sounds like jiggling, like a doorknob. Who's in here? The hairs on my arm are standing on end right now. I literally heard like a jiggling sound. It sounded like a doorknob. I don't know. Was it this one? Did you just jiggle this doorknob? Maybe it was one of the dressers. Oh my god. Okay. I can hear it. It is coming from the closet. Look at that. That thing is moving. I can hear that clear as day. Why are you jiggling that doorknob? Are you in the closet? Just trying to keep my camera on it in case it moves. Look at it. Dude, it is moving. Do you hear that? Look at it. Is there someone behind this? There's gotta be someone. Look at that, dude. You can literally see it moving. Dude, the door is moving. Oh my god. Oh, jeez Louise. That door is shaking.
The closet doorknob began rattling violently on its own, as if someone was standing just on the other side, trying to get out. This wasn't the sound of settling wood or a loose latch. The movement was forceful. Children's rooms are often said to be hotspots in haunted locations, not because of the children themselves, but because spirits are believed to use toys and familiar objects to provoke attention or fear. And in this case, it feels less like playful activity and more like something reacting to Ian's presence. The question is, was whatever moved the bear the same thing trying to get out of that closet, or something else entirely? This investigation is far from over. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip is about a family we've talked about on this channel before, and if you remember their story, then you already know things got pretty unsettling the first time around. Here's a quick rundown. It all began on random nights when their daughter would suddenly wake up crying, and while they were trying to calm her down, they'd hear someone knocking on their front door. It went on for several nights until the father finally decided to check. And the moment he opened that door, there was a figure standing right outside. After that encounter, the knocking stopped, but the house wasn't the same. Strange movements, electronics acting up, little things happening that didn't feel like coincidences. They prayed, they waited, and after a few months, the house finally settled. No knocking, no shadows, no disturbances. For a while, it seemed like whatever had shown up that night had moved on. But now, months later, the pattern seems to be starting all over again. Watch this.
Vente, vente, vente. Te están tocando.
Sí. La niña empezó a llorar.
Ya no haga mucho ruido para ver quién es. No prendas. ¿Cómo rápido? Ay, está bien inquieta, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ya son casi las 3 de la mañana. ¿Dónde están las llaves? Hoy. No se ve. Voy a abrirlo. Ya. Ahí quédate, espérame. No hay nadie. No hay nadie, no hay nadie. No, uy, otra vez. No se ve nadie. Así menos. ¿Quién será? No es nadie, Ceci. Yo creo que ya nos subimos a dormir. Ya. Vámonos. Vámonos porque igual le voy a enseñar la hora. Siempre pasa lo mismo. Mira. Son casi las 3 de la mañana. 25. Siempre hace lo mismo, ¿verdad? Ya vamos a... Voy a cerrar otra vez.
This time, they knew better than to open the door. They didn't want to repeat the same mistake, but one night, while his wife was trying to put their baby girl to sleep, the house security camera picked up something they never expected to see. Watch this.
Sí, mira, quiero que observes bien este video y me digas qué te parece. Puede ser cualquier cosa, pudo ser una persona, pero realmente con seguridad no te sé qué decir. Observa los movimientos de mi hija de 4 meses como ya está casi dormida. Y ahorita en un ratito como que se altera. El video no tiene audio, así que por eso se lo estoy relatando. Vean ahí cómo se alteró mi hija y ve directamente hacia el portón. Miren, ahí está observando, ahí se asomó algo. Vean eso. Vean lo extraño que el color de piel que tiene eso, vean. Y mi hija ahí está alterada y si se dan cuenta, no deja de mirar hacia el portón. Vean, mi hija está mirándolo. Ahí se volteó y eso se desvaneció. Bastante extraño.
If you take a good look at the footage, the little girl is completely calm at first, just resting, until something shifts. Out of nowhere, she gets upset and she starts crying, like she's reacting to something we can't see. And if you look at the door, a faint figure seems to be peeking inside. The father said he couldn't place the shape at all, and what made it worse is that he never saw anything walk away. 1 second the figure was there, and the next, it wasn't. No footsteps, no movement, no shadows trailing off. Just there, then gone. And with everything they've experienced before, people began to wonder if this was the same presence that stood outside their door months ago, or if something completely new had entered the picture. Then, around 2 a.m., their daughter started crying again. But this time, it wasn't the knocking, it was something far worse. Proof that whatever they'd been dealing with wasn't outside anymore. It was inside the house. Have a look.
Porras. No digas mamadas. No. ¿Qué dijo? ¿Eh? ¿Qué dijo? No mames, güey. Se me va a apagar. Está hablando. No, güey. No, la verga. No mames, no chingues. Se puso feo. Raza. Se puso feo, les dije. No mames, güey.
It didn't take long before the knocking returned too, and when it came back, it wasn't random or occasional anymore. It happened every single night, like something determined, something trying to wear them down. Imagine living with that, knowing it's coming, knowing you can't stop it, and counting down the seconds until it starts again. Eventually, even though he knew exactly what happened the last time, he started opening doors, but only the doors inside. And what happened next felt like going from bad to something much worse, almost like stepping out of the frying pan and straight into the fire. Watch.
No sé si se escuche. Oigan como si estuvieran en la parte de enfrente. No mames. Son las 2 de la mañana. Uy, cabrón. Voy a buscar las llaves. No mames, está acá enfrente, ¿eh? Uy. Como...
The activities in the house escalated after that night, but this time the knocking didn't stop. And you know what they say. When the knocking refuses to end, it usually means whatever is outside isn't trying to leave, it's trying to come in. And in situations like this, people believe persistent knocking is a sign that the presence has grown stronger, more intentional, almost desperate for access. It got so bad that it began waking the entire family every single night. At this point, they started to believe that not opening the main door wasn't protecting them from anything, because strange things were still happening inside the house even on nights they kept the door shut. But at least if they open it, the knocking would stop for a few hours, just enough peace to reach the morning. So reluctantly, they fell into a routine. Every time the knocking returned, the father would open the door just to make it stop, until one night he walked toward the entrance expecting the same pattern, but instead saw something deeply unsettling. Watch this.
Johnny, están tocando.
¿Ah?
Están tocando.
¿Quién es?
Nadie,
¿Están tocando?
Sí.
Ah, sí, no manches.
Escucha.
Otra vez, güey, a ver. Dame, a ver, aguanta. Espérame aquí, aguántame. Otra vez. Son las 3 de la mañana, gente. Son casi las 3 de la mañana. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué es lo que quieres? Deja de molestar. Quiero que te largues. ¿Qué es eso? Oh, no manches. Oh, no manches. Ceci.
This wasn't a neighbor, this wasn't a prank. What he saw looked dark and full of intent, the kind of thing that doesn't accidentally show up at your door. And when you connect this moment to everything else, the figure peeking inside the house, the child crying at unseen things, the sudden electronic malfunctions, the rocking chair moving on its own, the doll moving, it all begins to feel like one presence that finally revealed its true form. Now the family is actively seeking help from anyone who can make sense of all this. But while they search for answers, the knocking hasn't stopped. They still open the door sometimes, but now with extreme caution, because they never know what might be standing there.
Mira. Y el chiquito no.
Mira, no mames.
¡Vámonos de esta casa!
Ya, yo voy grabando.
Tranquila. ¿Quién anda ahí?
To make matters worse, the electricity in the house hasn't been the same since the night they saw that strange figure. Lights flicker, appliances glitch, and even their older kid is getting tired of living in a place that feels more haunted with every passing night. In the next clip they posted, things took a turn none of them were prepared for. What used to happen strictly at night, the knocking, the footsteps, the strange movements, suddenly began happening in broad daylight. Objects would shift from one spot to another, heavy thudding footsteps, as if someone unseen was walking up the stairs, and random items in the house kept going missing only to reappear in odd places. Then one afternoon, the father captured something on camera that left both viewers and investigators genuinely alarmed. Watch this.
¿Estás escuchando?
Sí.
Vente. Son las 2 de la tarde, se está manifestando algo. Tengo que decir que no hay nadie. Estoy completamente solo. No manches. Se acaba de abrir la puerta del cuarto. Este cuarto, pues nadie lo habita. Estoy solamente con mi hijo de 8 años. Vente, Neto, no te quedes. Se vio claramente cómo se abrió la puerta sola y no hay ni viento. De hecho, está cerrada la ventana, todo está cerrado. No, vámonos.
Even with every window shut and all doors locked, one door slowly opened on its own, like someone on the inside had gently pushed it. Many believe this was a sign the presence inside the home has grown comfortable, too comfortable, almost as if it no longer cares to hide its movements. Others think letting it in that very first night might have given it access it never should have had, and now it's roaming the entire house freely, crossing boundaries it once respected. And things have only gotten worse night after night. The family is so desperate that viewers have sent their clips to paranormal experts, hoping someone can offer answers or at least a solution to stop the constant fear they're living in. But while they wait for help, every day and every night brings a new disturbance. One night, it sounded like someone was in the kitchen, loud enough that the husband thought an intruder might have broken in. But when he went to check, this is what he found.
Oye, voy a ir a bajar,
Sí, va a ver, va a checar qué es.
Voy a ver, ahí quédate con la niña.
Sí.
Hasta se despertó, ¿va?
Sí.
No hay nadie. Por lo regular siempre se escucha como si hubiera alguien ahí en la cocina. Se escuchaba que estaban jugando con los trastes, como si estuvieran botando cosas, así bastante fuerte. Lo primero que pensé es que se habían metido a la casa. Mierda. ¿Qué hacen esos sartenes botados? Mira. Empieza a sentir un escalofrío en esta parte bastante fuerte. Voy a levantar esto. Miren cómo cómo estaba colgado esto. Ay, ¿qué es lo que quieres? Lárgate de aquí. ¿Por qué nos molestas? Oh, madre de Dios. ¿Qué es eso que se escucha? Lárgate de aquí. No mames. Hey, la sangre de Cristo tiene poder. Sea lo que seas, no perteneces aquí. Lárgate. Necesitamos ayuda, por favor. Esto se está saliendo de control, amigos. ¿Qué es eso?
Pans scattered all across the floor, and before he could even finish placing them back, something else happened. Sudden, sharp, and terrifying. Almost like the presence wanted to make sure he knew he wasn't alone in that kitchen. At this point, whatever is haunting this home is no longer subtle, no longer shy, no longer hiding in the shadows. It's active, bold, and possibly growing stronger. And before this turns into something violent, the family is pleading for help, hoping someone can intervene before things get even worse. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian went deep into the Minnesota woods, and on this particular night, he was making his way toward an isolated cemetery rumored to be one of the most haunted places in the entire region. He was completely alone out there, and even he admitted that he was starting to freak out.
Okay. I'm coming towards you, whoever you are. I hear somebody walking up and down this trail. Could you walk towards me? Oh my God! Holy shit! Oh my God! I'm sorry. You almost gave me a heart attack. I know I asked you to do that, but damn! Holy moly, I didn't think you were gonna actually do it.
Vicksburg Cemetery sat hidden in the wilderness, untouched, overgrown, and swallowed by trees. Local legend claimed that one gravestone in particular would glow at night, and that every spring it sprouted fresh flowers that dripped what looked like blood. It was the kind of place that felt unsettling even in daylight. And yet, because it was Ian, he chose to spend the entire night there anyway. The place had the kind of heavy stillness you'd expect from a cemetery buried deep in the woods, but as he walked around with his flashlight sweeping through the darkness, he saw something that stopped him. One entire grave had been left in total shambles. Stone cracked apart, soil disturbed, like something had forced its way out or clawed its way in. And in typical Ian fashion, instead of backing away, he tried communicating with whatever spirit might still be lingering there.
Gosh. This whole grave is in shambles. I'm sorry that your tombstone has been destroyed. What happened? Is it vandalized? Whoa. Okay, I just heard you.
At this moment, a woman's whisper intelligently responds to my question.
In my left hand, I have a green light. It won't harm you in any way. All it will simply do is detect your presence. If you're still here, could you tell me your name? Because unfortunately, there's really no way for me to tell. I really don't want to dig around your grave shambles, because I don't want to damage it any further. You don't have to be shy, ma'am. As I said, I'm just here to visit. I'm here with nothing but respect. I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes right now, but that's okay. It's worth it. If I could just hear your voice one more time. Whoa. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I heard that. I heard you once again. Whoa, you just drained my battery too.
Dang, dude. All right. I'm gonna review this when I get home, and I'll know your message.
Later, after reviewing his footage, he realized that the voice captured on camera sounded like it was saying the word foreign. That one detail bothered him enough to dig deeper, and when he researched the grave, he found out it belonged to a woman named Vesta Black Davis, buried alone with no family members anywhere near her. A sad and lonely revelation, but it raised an even darker question. If no one visited her and no one cared for the site, then why was her grave the only one shattered? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following clip, a couple begins to notice strange, unexplained movements inside their home. It starts subtly, items not being where they were left, an uneasy feeling when certain rooms go quiet, and moments where it feels like someone else is present even when they're alone. One evening, one of them notices something she's absolutely certain about. The blinds in one room are open, even though she clearly remembers closing them. She shuts them again and leaves the room. Minutes later, she returns, and the blinds are open, so this time, instead of brushing it off, she stays, pulls out her phone, and starts recording to see what's causing it. Watch closely.
Me, or is that an opening? Let me pause this shit, cause is it me? Oh my god, baby. Baby. Is it me or they fucking opening?
After the video was shared, explanations quickly followed. Some suggested the blinds might be loose or no longer tight enough, slowly slipping down on their own. Others speculated that someone could be standing outside the window. But when she stepped outside to check for footprints or signs of anyone nearby, there were none. No marks, no disturbance, nothing that could explain it. What makes this harder for the couple to dismiss is that this isn't the only strange thing they've experienced. They've openly said they believe they're gifted with sight, able to sense and see spirits, and because of past experiences, they're already open to the idea that the paranormal is very real. They've encountered unusual things outside their home as well, events that reinforce that belief. One moment that stands out happened when they took their nephew Nick to the park shortly after he lost his best friend. While spending time there, something unexpected was captured. Watch and listen closely.
This is a video of our nephew at the park, and his best friend had recently died. Let us know what you hear.
Ow, my head! My head got hurt twice!
Some people hear a voice saying, "Nick, I love you." Others believe it says, "I can help you." Was this a comforting message meant only for him, or something else entirely trying to make contact? Let me know what you heard. Now, in this next clip, a man is trying to get to the root of why his younger daughter is terrified of a particular toy. Every time she sees it, she cries. When it's brought closer, she screams and tries to get away, refusing to stay in the same room with it. She won't touch it, won't look at it for long, and becomes visibly distressed whenever it's nearby. Behavior that her parents say doesn't happen with any of her other toys. One evening, hoping to understand what was triggering such a strong reaction, the father brings the toy out again with the help of his older daughter. As they interact with it, he suddenly notices something unsettling. Watch.
Okay, pull the string.
Okay.
Let it go slow. Alright, now do it regular. Alright, I'll do it again, but a little slower.
Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to know what this toy actually is. Viewers quickly pointed out that it's a 1985 Secret Care Bear, one of the early talking toys. Unlike modern toys that use digital electronics, these older models relied on sound cylinders. The slower the pull string retracts, the slower the cylinder turns, which can cause the voice to stretch, warp, and distort. similar to forcing a vinyl record to slow down mid-play. Back in the day, many parents complained that these toys sounded disturbing, even describing the voices as demonic, but that's not where the concern ends. Some people took things much further, pointing to the symbols on the Care Bears' bellies, known as belly badges. According to proponents, these symbols resemble veves, religious markings used in voodoo practices believed to act as spiritual beacons or invitations for specific entities. While others dismiss this as coincidence or overinterpretation, those who believe in spiritual sensitivity argue that children are often more perceptive to energies adults ignore. So if this little girl reacts so strongly to this specific toy, could it really be just the distorted voice? Or is she sensing something else entirely? I'd leave you to be the judge of this one. In the following clip, a woman was just about to take a shower when her friend FaceTimed her. During the call, the friend jokingly teased her about the way she had wrapped her hair before hanging up. Laughing it off, she decided to rewrap it properly and record a short video to send back as proof she could do it better this time. But while she was recording, something completely unexpected happened. Watch closely. From her reaction alone, you can tell how deeply it shook her. And honestly, it's hard to blame her. She had already heard unsettling stories from neighbors in the building, reports of curtains moving on their own, unexplained knocking late at night, and even whispers coming from empty rooms. So when her own curtains suddenly began moving violently, not swaying gently, but tugged as if someone was deliberately pulling it, panic took over, and in that moment, running was the only thing she could think to do. But if whatever caused that movement had actually shifted into her apartment, many argue that running alone wouldn't solve anything. But is there a chance this is a one-time incident? Or should she start taking it seriously? Now, in this next video, a family had just moved into a home tucked deep in the Smoky Mountains, not far from the Appalachian Range. And according to them, it's been one disturbing incident after another since the day they arrived. At first, it was little things they tried to brush off. Strange noises at night, an uneasy feeling when the sun went down, and the sense that the woods surrounding their property were never truly quiet. But one night, the husband and son went outside to bring one of their chickens back into the coop when something suddenly charged at them from the darkness. Watch closely.
Yeah.
Really faster than deer.
Towards us. Yeah. From the same fucking place. The same place.
So I shot.
Lights to the right.
I shot a couple of times.
Right. Fired off around.
Well, I've shot. I think I may have even hit it.
Right there, left. I just saw eyes right there.
Yeah, we've been seeing eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Over there.
I'm going inside and I'm telling them what happened.
Telling you what happened. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. That's
this is insane.
Clearly something.
This is insane. Okay, my phone died. It literally went from 60 to 1 and then it died, okay? So we're sitting here, we realize what's going on. I say it's the chairs being drug across the concrete, okay? Then all of a sudden we hear tapping. The door is on the other side of this, right through those doors right there. The tapping was through there. That's where the hot tub is, on that side. And right along that side of the property line right there is where it was last night, okay? Then, right after 4 taps on that glass, something tried to put in a code on my front door, and it was wrong, and it went da-na-na-na, and then it left, and it was complete silence. My 2 oldest boys were at the gym. My other son, who is 16, and my husband, who protects our home mostly, okay, were gone. This thing waited until the protectors of our home were gone to intimidate us. And not one, but two this time. I immediately went, I got my AR, I slammed in the clip, I flipped that motherfucker to fire, and I chambered that bitch.
Only people that were in the home were women, children, and the elderly.
I went and checked all the doors. I locked 2 doors that were unlocked. Only one of those doors had somebody been out of today. The other one has not been touched. It never is used. Nobody ever uses that entrance. I went and opened my grandpa's door. I checked on him. He said he'd been in there the whole time. I said, Grandpa, something's trying to get in the house. Do not come out. We're sweeping the house with guns. Stay in this room. Call me if you need me.
Once the video circulated, people familiar with Appalachian folklore began chiming in. Many claimed this sounded eerily similar to encounters they'd had themselves. Some suggested a rake. Others went even further, saying the behavior matched stories tied to Wendigos or skinwalkers, entities long associated with remote wooded areas and mountain regions like this. Advice poured in quickly. Viewers urged them to place iron spikes at all 4 corners of their property line. Others recommended walking the perimeter with salt as a protective barrier. A lot of people warned them to stop staring into the tree line at night, claiming that acknowledging whatever is out there can invite more activity. But just a few days later, something else happened. She went into the kitchen to grab something and noticed something completely out of place. Watch.
I never used to leave my front porch lights on. What the f is that? Hey yo, what the f is that? Oh, no, 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 no.
After this second clip, interest in her story exploded, and that's when she shared something deeply personal. According to her, she's had a paranormal attachment since she was a toddler. She claims it eventually left after she rededicated her life to Christ, but she also admits that strange experiences have followed her family over the years, and now, since moving to this area, whatever it is feels stronger, more aggressive, and far more frequent. So the question remains, is this activity tied to the land, the deep woods and ancient energy of the Appalachian Mountains? Or is something from her past finding its way back to her now? Let me know what you think. This next video was captured on Christmas Day, a time most people associate with peace, family, and quiet moments at home. But for this family, whatever has been haunting their house didn't take a break for the holidays. They had already been dealing with unexplained activity for weeks. Still, they hoped Christmas would at least bring some calm. Well, it didn't. Take a look. At the very beginning, a voice can be heard clearly saying Eva, followed shortly after by Simon, the exact names of people living inside the house. That detail alone is what made this clip especially disturbing. Many believe that when a spirit uses someone's real name, it's not random. In some belief systems, speaking a person's name is thought to establish a stronger connection, almost like marking them. And then there are those who warn that this kind of behavior signals escalation, a sign that the activity is moving beyond noises and into direct interaction. Skeptics tried to make their points, but for the family, hearing their names spoken inside their own home on Christmas Day of all days didn't feel like coincidence. So what do you think this was? A spirit trying to communicate, or something darker attempting to latch on? Now, this next clip was also recorded on Christmas Day, and interestingly, many people believe this is a time when houses can become more active, not less. Across different cultures and belief systems, Christmas is often described as a kind of thin moment, where emotions run high, memories are stirred, and homes are filled with energy tied to family, loss, and tradition. Paranormal enthusiasts often claim that spirits are more active during holidays because of this emotional intensity. There are countless reports tied specifically to Christmas: footsteps heard while everyone is asleep, ornaments moving on their own, voices captured on recordings during gift opening, and even children claiming to see unfamiliar figures standing near trees or doorways. And for the lady in this video, Christmas Day was no exception. Watch this.
Me encanta porque se me abrió la puerta del ropero sola. No, pero escúchame una cosa. Nos quedamos donde estamos acá, no saludamos a nadie. Chao. Buenas noches, nos vamos todos a dormir.
After this clip was shared, the comments section quickly filled up as viewers began sharing their own Christmas-related experiences. So now it's your turn. Have you ever experienced something strange on Christmas Day or during the holidays? Or was it just a coincidence? Now, this next clip was captured by a family we've featured on this channel before. A family whose house situation has been one of the hardest for viewers to make sense of. On the very first day of the year, while most people were sleeping peacefully or welcoming a fresh start, this family barely managed an hour of rest. Watch.
Espérame, voy a ver allá abajo, no hay nada acá.
At first glance, it might be easy for some to dismiss this as staged, but the reactions of the children tell a very different story. This is pure fear, the kind of fear that comes from living with something you don't understand and can't escape from. Many viewers keep repeating the same advice: just move. But how easy is that really? When funds are limited, when the housing market is tight, and when every affordable option feels out of reach, leaving isn't as simple as packing bags and walking away. The family says they've tried everything they know, so this is one mystery that refuses to let go. The following clip was recorded inside Kyle's house, a place we've featured several times on this channel. For the past few weeks, things have been unusually quiet, but as many people familiar with paranormal cases will tell you, long quiet periods don't always mean the activity is gone. Sometimes they mean something is building up. One morning, Kyle woke up to the sound of voices coming from somewhere inside his house. Watch closely. At first, he did what most people would do. He searched the house room by room, trying to find a logical source. No TV was on, no phone, no neighbors, nothing that could explain what he was hearing. But when he reached the basement door, things became even more unsettling. Viewers who analyzed the clip claim they heard a young girl's voice whispering, "He's coming." But Kyle doesn't have any children and no kids were anywhere near the house at the time. Several people urged Kyle not to respond verbally, especially not in the moment, a common warning when unexplained voices are heard, as acknowledging them is believed by some to strengthen the activity. For now, Kyle hasn't been able to explain what he heard that morning, just a voice that shouldn't have been there, and a house that, after weeks of silence, suddenly felt very. In this next video, a security guard shares more updates from his workplace, a place where strange figures have been showing up far too often to ignore. In earlier clips, he documented unexplained figures passing, and he thought it was going to be a one-off activity, but it happened again. One night during his shift, he noticed a white figure moving through the building once again. Instead of brushing it off, he decided to stand up and follow it, hoping to finally get a clearer look. Watch closely.
The storm is so bad that Ghost had to go upstairs. Look at the bottom right. Look. There you go. Look at that. It was cold. I'm like, oh shit. I wanted to follow it and feel. See, I'm trying to feel, like, follow the cold breeze. I saw it going towards the elevator. So I went there. It was actually a cold breeze towards the elevator, then it just stopped. So I'm like, damn. Shit. So I walked back, thinking the motherfucker was gone. I guess it didn't want me to follow it. So I'm like, okay. Then something touched me. I'm like, what the something touched me. I'm still trying to see, like, where is it at? Like, it vanished, so how is it still touching me or something? I don't know. It's creepy. So I'm like, okay. Well, at least I saw it and followed it for a little moment. Then it went to vanish. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, go ahead and take your ass upstairs and get warm.
Aside from briefly touching him, there haven't been any violent attacks, scratches, or aggressive behavior. This led many to believe this could be a non-hostile or friendly spirit, possibly unaware of its surroundings or simply repeating a routine it once had in life. But it happened again. On another night shift, the guard spotted the same faint white figure again, only this time it came through the door. And as the figure moved closer, he described feeling a sudden cold breeze, even though the building's temperature hadn't changed. Have a look.
I saw that motherfucker again. Just look real close. Just look. It's coming from the door, from outside. See it? It's faint. It's real faint. I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold on, let me feel if it's real. It's real. It's cold too. When I put my hand up there by it, it's real cold. Then it went back there towards the door, all the way back there in the back. I'm like, whoa. I wanted to see it went close to me or some shit. I'm like, oh, so ghosts, because ghosts do give out like a cold chill, like when you put, like, it's like a cold breeze there. I'm like, okay. Shit, I saw it came from outside too. I'm like, damn. And I wasn't even freaked out. I just wanted to see how it felt. I was like, that motherfucker cold in the mud. So I saw it. That shit is crazy, man. It's been a while since I've seen this, so like I said, it come every now and then, but you have to look real hard though, real hard to see it. It came from here and it went real slow. Just look real hard when you rewind the video.
In paranormal belief, sudden cold spots are often associated with spirits because it's said they draw energy from their surroundings to manifest or move. Many claim that when a temperature drops without explanation, it can signal a spirit passing through or attempting to interact. Despite multiple encounters, the figure has never spoken, it hasn't shown its face, and it hasn't revealed why it keeps appearing in the same workplace night after night. Until more updates are shared, this case remains unsolved. Now, this next video is about David, the man who bought a doll and almost immediately realized he'd made a serious mistake. At first, David believed the activity was tied directly to the doll, so he did what many advised. He locked it inside a cage and placed a Bible on top, hoping that would contain whatever presence was attached to it. But the activity in his house didn't stop. In fact, many viewers believe that while the doll may have acted as a trigger, whatever came with it may have already spread throughout the house long before it was locked away. One night, around 4 a.m., David woke up to get some work done, but as he finished and was about to head to bed, he began hearing something that immediately put him on edge. Listen closely.
Están escuchando, ¿no? Son pasos, esos son pasos. Y los estoy escuchando, ya van 2 veces que los escucho. Entonces la segunda vez dije, ok, termino de hacer la cama y empiezo a grabar. Ok, ya escucharon, ¿no? Bueno. Entonces, ¿por qué tengo la luz así? Porque me duermo con la luz de rojo, ya está. Y para los que digan, esas cruces que no sé qué, son adornos, nada más. Entonces, ya encendí la luz del celular, ¿ok? Porque ahorita todo está apagado. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Ahí se escucha.
It sounded unmistakably like footsteps, and David was completely alone. In the same video, David addresses something many commenters had been focusing on: the red lighting in his room and the crosses on the wall. He explains that the red light helps him sleep, and the crosses are simply decorative ornaments, not ritualistic, not symbolic. But viewers aren't convinced. Many argued that red lighting is often associated with heightened emotional states or altered perception, while others insisted that symbolic objects, even when decorative, can still act as spiritual triggers, especially in an already active environment. Trying to locate the source of the noise, David followed the sound, and it didn't surprise anyone when the footsteps led him straight to the room where the doll was locked. But what shocked viewers most wasn't the room. It was what appeared just before he reached it: a face, barely visible, peeking out from the darkness, watching him. That single moment escalated everything, because now there were 3 separate concerns: the doll locked in the cage, the red light, and the cross ornaments, and now a visible presence that wasn't hiding anymore. David shared that this wasn't the first time he heard footsteps. One night, while he was home alone, he heard footsteps so convincing that he genuinely believed someone had broken into his house. Have a look.
Se escuchó que alguien venía así, hacia mí. Y fue cuando cerré la puerta.
After that incident, viewers advised him to prepare for the next time it happened, specifically by using talcum powder, a method some believe can reveal unseen movement through footprints. So when it happened again, David knew exactly what to do. Watch this carefully.
Talco para pies. No me importa usarlo todo. Bueno, amigas, bueno, amigos, así quedó. Ya está. No fue mucho lo que quedaba. Ya se vació esto. Voy a dejarlo así, qué sé yo, toda la tarde y toda la noche de mañana, a ver qué pasa. Es decir, en 24 horas reviso. Ya está. Antes de, voy a encender la luz de esto. Todo eso está el talco, ¿ok? Sí se ve bien creepy, ¿no? Ah, cosa curiosa. El rosario de la Biblia ya no... A ver, así. Ya no encuentro el rosario de la Biblia. Y si se dan cuenta, la muñeca se volvió a mover.
As he pours the powder, something else happens. A voice can be heard. And for those familiar with David's story, this voice is disturbingly familiar. From the very beginning, David has described hearing a voice that sounds distressed, sometimes crying, sometimes calling his name, sometimes sounding like it's asking for forgiveness, as if whatever is there isn't just present, but suffering. Then, David noticed something else. The doll had changed position inside the cage, and the rosary he'd placed on top of the Bible was gone. At this point, even viewers couldn't agree on what was truly responsible. Some still blame the doll, others insist the house itself may already be haunted. A few believe it's the environment, the lighting, the symbols, the attention, feeding whatever is there. And then there's the face, because once something is watching you, it's no longer contained. So what do you think is causing all of this? The doll, the red light, the crosses, or the house itself? You be the judge. In the following video, a woman shares footage after more than 2 weeks of unsettling experiences, incidents that have slowly pushed her toward one frightening conclusion, that something may have attached itself to her. Watch this carefully.
I'm recording this to see if I can catch it on camera this time. But I'm home alone for the night and I swear I've been hearing noises. And usually this happens, but this time it died. Please tell me that you can hear it.
To a lot of people, this might not be a classic attachment case. Attachments usually don't begin loudly, they start subtly. A constant feeling of being watched, sudden emotional shifts that don't feel like your own, exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest, recurring intrusive thoughts, vivid dreams involving the same presence, or a heavy sensation in the chest or shoulders, as if something is always nearby. So this might be something else, a mimic. Mimic cases often present differently. Instead of targeting emotions or energy first, mimics focus on imitation. They copy familiar voices, repeat phrases the person has heard before, and create situations designed to provoke a response. And that's where the most important rule comes in. The number one rule when dealing with a mimic is this: do not respond and do not acknowledge it in any way. No speaking back, no calling out, no asking questions, no reacting emotionally. Sometimes, while attachments tend to drain and linger quietly, mimics provoke, and once they're acknowledged, they rarely stop. Until more updates are shared, the situation remains deeply unsettling. Now, in this next video, a man is simply giving his friends and family a tour of his new apartment. Nothing unusual, just a quick walkthrough to show the space. But he captured something terrifying. Take a look. It wasn't until one of his friends decided to slow the video down and examine each room more carefully that something disturbing stood out. As he walks past one of the rooms, there appears to be a woman standing still, facing the window. She doesn't move and she didn't turn. The man insists he was completely alone while filming. No roommate, no visitor. Viewers quickly began analyzing the footage frame by frame. Some believe it could be a reflection or a trick of lighting, but others pointed out that the figure appears to have depth and form, standing in a spot where no mirror or reflective surface should be. The posture is also unsettlingly natural, like someone quietly observing the outside world. So, what do you do when your new apartment already has someone living rent-free in it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. This next video was captured by Nate, a man whose dog has been trying to warn him that something isn't right inside the house. One night, while Nate was home alone watching TV, this happened. Watch closely.
So I'm here watching football, and this light keeps going on and off. I was just up there going to the bathroom. Like, I checked the bulb, and the switch is right there. It just started doing this.
If it's just the lights turning on and off, some might say he's overreacting. Electrical issues happen, but when you factor in everything else that's already happened in this house, the situation becomes much harder to dismiss. We've heard whispers underneath several of Nate's past videos, faint, low, and not coming from the TV. There's also the clip where a knife was thrown across the room, even though no one was standing near it. And then there's his dog, who refuses to go into certain corners of the house, freezing in place, growling, or leaving the room altogether. And when multiple signs start stacking up, sound, movement, objects being thrown, and an animal clearly reacting, it begins to feel like something is escalating. For now, Nate hasn't been able to explain what's going on inside his home. So until more answers or updates surface, this one remains completely unsolved. Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian returns to what many locals consider the most haunted house in Minnesota, the infamous Boyd House. The home belonged to the Ehart family, Fred and Minnie, and was originally built back in 1901. As Ian entered one of the rooms, something immediately caught his attention. A light suddenly turned on by itself. At that moment, Ian knew he needed answers. Was this Fred, Minnie, or something else entirely? So he began asking questions.
Minnie, was that you that I heard earlier? Making all those noises? Turning on that closet light? Was that you? I feel him moving again. Thank you. I think they uncrossed. I hope you don't mind me visiting. It is a lovely place. You know, I keep coming back for a reason, right? What the heck was that? That sounded like a female voice, almost. It was like really faint. Minnie, is that you? There it is again. Okay. That is really really spooky sounding. It sounds like a woman, like humming. Like,
Was that Minnie, the former owner many believe still wanders the house, known for moving objects and interacting with the environment? Or has something else found its way into the Boyd house, drawn in by years of attention and investigations? In the following clip, a family went to check out an apartment they were considering renting, but within minutes of stepping inside, something happened that none of them could explain. Watch this.
Yeah, I'm scared of them. That's why I walked it.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down.
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room, Sally?
It's Harry Potter theme.
Asides the fact that an unidentified voice suddenly whispered Jadis, viewers quickly pointed out something else that seems far more disturbing. There's a particular corner of the house that gave almost everyone watching the same unsettling feeling. It's the kind of spot that looks normal at first, but the longer you stare at it, the heavier it feels. Some viewers claim they could see faint, human-shaped figures shifting in the shadows. Others said that even through a screen, the corner looked wrong, almost like someone, or something, was standing there quietly, waiting for them to step closer. And then there's the little boy. The moment he said he was scared, a lot of people took that seriously, not because he sounded dramatic or confused, but because children are known to be extremely sensitive to things adults can't perceive. So between the mysterious voice calling out a name, the strange corner that unsettled so many viewers, and the child's immediate reaction, many believe the family got all the signs they needed. Whether they listened or not, though, that's something everyone is still waiting to know. In this next clip, a family who had been dealing with several nights of unexplained knocking finally made the mistake that so many paranormal experts warn people about. They opened the door. They didn't see anyone there, no footsteps, no cars parked outside, but ever since that moment, their normal days have looked nothing like normal. Watch this. First, you see the chair rocking, as if something was sitting there and deliberately trying to be noticed. But the moment the man reached out to stop it, something else in the room reacted. Like whatever was inside that house was saying, if you stop me here, I'll just move somewhere else. And this is the exact pattern people online pointed out. Every time they try to interfere with one activity, another one starts up right behind them. It's like the presence in that house is trying to show dominance over the entire space. And judging by how effortlessly these objects move, and how quickly the activity escalates, whatever this is, it doesn't seem ready to leave anytime soon. On March 8th, 2023, Casey Lee was home with her family when her son suddenly ran out of the hallway, trying to get his dad's attention. He kept pointing, insisting that his father had to come see something. Watch.
This snack will go international. International. That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start the this video, break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. Rice. Oh, no, that's sick. Oh, that's insane. Boy, that's amazing. Wow. Okay, let's go. That's amazing. That feels so trippy too. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, new wrenches. Yeah, new oil. Okay, Grandma, I'm doing it. What? Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying. Yeah, that is. Like, a ghost? A ghost? That looks amazing. Where? That took. Fuck that shit.
Kill them.
Kill who?
That ghost.
What ghost?
It's there.
What's that?
Go get him.
No.
What does the ghost look like?
What's that?
Like that? Where is he?
In there.
And where?
In there.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way?
No, in there.
In that room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Why go see?
No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway? Huh? There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on? Someone's over there? It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost? Oh, do what? Am I fighting him? I'm fighting him.
Come here. Go.
I think we're good. Is it a big ghost or a little ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yeah.
Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost?
Big ghost.
Big ghost.
In there. We're almost there.
The boy was way too focused for them not to take him seriously, and according to Casey, this isn't the first time he's claimed to see something that no one else noticed at first. One example she gave was from a few months earlier, when he told her there was someone sitting by the shoe rack. They brushed it off as imagination, until the motion-activated light by the rack flicked on by itself, followed by the sound of something shifting across the tiles, exactly where he had pointed. After that moment, they learned to stop doubting him so quickly, which is why this latest incident is starting to bother them more than they expected. Casey says that the very next day after this clip was recorded, both of their dogs started barking ferociously at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway where her son kept staring. Whatever her son saw, the animals definitely sensed it too, but until Casey shares more updates, this case remains completely unsolved. Now, in this next clip, TJ has recently adopted a deep fascination for haunted dolls, and over the past year, she's slowly built an entire collection, each doll with its own energy, history, and personality. Every now and then, she documents her new life living with these dolls, and although many people follow her page out of curiosity, most didn't expect her newest update to be this unsettling. Watch.
What's going on down there?
This clip quickly caught the attention of other collectors who started asking, how long did it take for her dolls to get comfortable enough to do this? They explained that many of their dolls stay completely silent for months, sometimes years. and that the quiet ones often make them the most nervous, because spirits that stay still for too long usually do so while observing the environment, adjusting, and waiting. To answer everyone's question, TJ gave a detailed response. Honestly, over a year. I had to really build a close relationship with them to get the activity I'm getting now. It was definitely not always this high. Things only started picking up when they felt like they knew me well. Her comment opened up another wave of debates. For now though, TJ insists she's comfortable with her dolls and isn't afraid, but viewers can't help but wonder if that's because she truly feels safe, or because whatever's attached to those dolls has already settled in more deeply than she realizes. In the following video, we have a man who claims he lives in a haunted house. And after months of documenting the activity, viewers finally traced the cause back to an African mask hanging in his home. But like most people who have already grown attached to something they own, he's been in complete denial. Friends have told him to get rid of it, viewers have begged him, but he always brushed it off, until things escalated way beyond the point of coincidence. Watch. First, it was a single loud bang. Then the wind chime swayed, and seconds later, the cupboard door slammed shut on its own. Everything seemed connected, almost as if something was moving through the house in a straight line, starting with the bang, triggering the chime, and ending with the kitchen cupboard. But what really convinced viewers that this has nothing to do with the house and everything to do with the mask was what happened next. Because the activity didn't stop at harmless noise, it grew aggressive. Watch this. The knife flew off and almost landed directly on his leg. And that wasn't the only incident. He's been waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. to scratching sounds on the walls, footsteps pacing around his bed, and sudden drops in temperature that make the room feel freezing cold. People in the comments use this as the final push to warn him again. It's the mask, take it down, remove it from your home before something even more dangerous happens. And after everything he's experienced, especially now that he's getting hurt, hopefully this time he finally believes them. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at one of the most unsettling situations a young family has ever had to deal with. For weeks, they've been reporting strange disturbances happening only at night. Small things at first, toys turning themselves on, footsteps in the hallway when everyone was asleep, and the baby monitor picking up faint whispers that definitely weren't coming from the parents. But recently, something changed, and whatever's happening now seems to be focused on their daughter. Every night, right after they put her to bed, she does the strangest thing. Watch this. You can hear the little girl, who is supposed to be fast asleep by this time, suddenly laughing in this almost diabolical, unsettling tone. And the way she stares, her eyes reflecting the infrared light like she's locked onto something none of us can see. That alone had viewers saying this doesn't look like normal sleep behavior at all. Some parents in the comments said this reminded them of episodes their kids had during extreme night terrors, but others are convinced this goes way beyond that. Now the parents are completely torn. They're not sure if they should call a priest, bring in a paranormal team, or just pack up and leave the house entirely. But with how quickly these episodes are escalating, doing nothing doesn't seem like an option anymore. What do you think they should do? Because whatever this is, it definitely isn't normal. Now, in this next clip, a man falls asleep with his bedroom light completely turned off, only to open his eyes around 1 a.m. and see that it's suddenly on. Watch.
Es la 1 de la mañana, acaban de prender la luz de la sala. Desde que compré ese espejo están pasando todas las cosas raras. A la madre. ¿Qué fue eso? Eso se está saliendo de control ya.
According to him, ever since he brought this toy home, this exact one right here, things inside his apartment have not been the same. At first, it was small things, a faint tapping in the hallway, soft creaks from the living room floorboards even though no one was out there. But with every passing night, the activity grew darker. He says he now wakes up almost every night to strange noises that seem to move from one room to another, like footsteps pacing in slow circles. And twice, something tried to forcefully twist his doorknob while he was sleeping. Not gently, not like a draft, but with the kind of pressure you'd expect from someone trying to get in. Even his cat, usually calm and curious, refuses to go near the toy. Instead, it'll sit in the doorway with its ears pinned back, staring into the darkness as if watching something move that he cannot see. And on the nights when the activity is strongest, the cat becomes restless, pacing from wall to wall, growling low under its breath. People in the comments were quick to say the same thing. Be careful what you bring into your home. Sometimes it's not the object itself, but whatever might already be attached to it. And in his case, it's starting to look like he didn't bring home a toy at all. He brought home something that doesn't want to leave. In the following video, a student from the Philippines found herself trapped inside a classroom in the university's ophthalmology building, one of the oldest sections of the entire school and a place many students already claim has a strange atmosphere. According to her, she had stayed behind after hours to finish an assignment when she suddenly realized she couldn't get out. Watch.
Hindi ko alam kung magsisend to, pero kanina pa ako nandito. Walang pintong bumubukas at may topak ata tong phone ko. Pag tinatry ko siyang buksan, yung mga pinto, hindi naman siya nakalock, pero ayaw niyang bumukas. Eto, tignan niyo. Parang may humihila sa kabilang dulo. Please, kung makita niyo to, ako si Maxine Cayapado ng MMA 201. Nandito ako sa C401 at nasa tapat ako ng...
She explained that the doors were not locked. They simply wouldn't open, as if something on the other side was gripping the handle and refusing to let go. The more she pulled, the heavier it felt, almost like she was fighting with an invisible force. And right when she started recording a video to show exactly where she was, hoping someone would come help her, that's when the door suddenly swung open on its own. To this day, no one can say for sure what actually happened in that room, and this video remains a mystery. In the following video, a man who's been complaining about strange occurrences in his home, claiming it's haunted, finally managed to capture something that might prove he's not imagining things. For months, he's told his landlord about what's been happening, but no one's ever taken him seriously. No proof, no evidence, just his word. But that changed one night when he woke up to a strange sound coming from outside. His first thought? The ghost is back. So this time, he grabbed his phone, determined to catch it in the act, and stepped outside to see what was going on. Watch this.
Oh my god, kasi matagtay ko si Tiyo Ple. Oh my god. Wow.
After recording the video, he immediately sent it to his landlord, hoping this would finally convince them something was off. He also shared it with a few friends, and before long, it was online for everyone to see. The comments that followed were a mix of sympathy and humor. Some joked that maybe the ghost was just helping out, but others pointed out something far darker, that perhaps a former tenant once lived and died there, and what the man captured wasn't a haunting at all, but the spirit replaying fragments of its past life, doing the same things it did before it passed. If that's true, then the man's nightly disturbances might not be a haunting out to scare him, but a restless echo of someone who simply doesn't realize they're gone. Hopefully, his landlord takes him seriously this time. Now, this next clip was recorded by a CCTV camera inside a shop, and what happened in it continues to stun everyone who's seen the footage. Watch this. At first glance, it looks like a normal night, nothing unusual, but then things start moving on their own. Items shift, fall, and one object in particular floats up off the counter, hovers for a moment in midair, and then drops straight to the floor. That's the moment everyone froze. Many people who've seen this footage tried to come up with logical explanations. Some say it could have been a mild earthquake or vibration, but no one's ever seen an earthquake lift something upward and keep it suspended like that before. Whatever happened in that shop that night, it's enough to make anyone question what they thought they knew about the world around them. So, what do you think? Did the camera capture something paranormal, or is there another explanation that we just haven't figured out yet? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next video, two roommates share their increasingly creepy situation. For a while now, they've been dealing with things that go far beyond what they can explain, and most of it seems to happen inside their garage. On some days, they'd hear loud banging sounds or tools clattering on their own, as if someone was working in there late at night. On other days, the lights would flicker violently, and the sound of something dragging across the concrete would echo through the house. It used to happen randomly, maybe once or twice a week, but now it's become a daily occurrence. So they decided to install a camera to finally see what's going on. Watch this. It's one thing to wake up to strange noises and find nothing there, but what the camera caught the second time made their skin crawl. One of the chairs in the garage was suddenly launched onto a couch. The couch is just out of frame, but if you look closely, you can see the chair move violently. Considering everything they've already endured, the constant noises, flickering lights, and movement when no one's around, it's hard to brush this off as mere coincidence. In the following clip, a lady named Jess wakes up early one morning to strange, unsettling sounds coming from her attic. Take a look.
It's okay, Booty, it's okay. Nope. Nope.
She was home alone with her 2 dogs. Kaiser was in the living room, and Butavius, her smaller one, was whining nervously beside her. When people online asked why she didn't go up to check, Jess had the perfect answer. In her words, that's how people get killed in horror movies. Y'all might have the courage to go look, but I don't. She explained that although she didn't necessarily feel any dark or negative energy that morning, she wasn't about to take chances either. Now, here's where things get interesting. Her attic doesn't have any windows, just a large old mirror that's been up there since she moved in, and according to Jess, people had warned her to get rid of that mirror long before anything strange even started happening. But lately, it's become almost routine. Every morning around the same time, she wakes up to banging and the sound of footsteps pacing above her. So, what do you think Jess is dealing with? Could that mirror be acting as a portal, reflecting more than just her image? Or is there something else hidden in that attic that's been trying to get her attention? You decide. In this next video, a woman is quietly breastfeeding her baby when something truly disturbing happens. Watch.
Lori? Bine de kamer. Als je naar dit niet was in de kamer, was er inderdaad niet erin gekomen. Ja. Ja. Nee.
If you look closely, the yoga ball by the left side of your screen, which had been perfectly still for several minutes, suddenly starts to move. Not a gentle roll, but a slow, deliberate shift, almost as if someone or something gave it a subtle push. According to her, she felt an icy chill at that exact moment, like someone had entered the room, watching her. Some people believe what she caught on camera wasn't random movement, but a spirit trying to draw her attention, maybe even jealous or drawn to the baby. She insists the windows were closed, there was no draft, and no one else was home. So whatever moved that ball, it didn't want to be ignored. Now, in this next video, Monica Monge works after hours, meaning she's on duty when the office is completely closed on holidays and weekends. But recently, her late night shifts have taken a very disturbing turn.
Here we go again. I don't know what the hell. The lights keep going on and off. Oh. Okay. I have to go upstairs. I don't know. That sound was at the same time as the light went on. Okay, it could be an electrical thing. Doesn't have to be scary. I don't know what's happening. I'm not scared, but Okay, so I'm at my desk now and the lights went out. They were going on and off when I was downstairs. I was able to capture it one time. I'm not scared. I'm over it actually. I'm super irritated. I'm hearing shit. I hear whispering and humming. I'm about to go over there. Ugh. I'm not scared, but just super irritated. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, God. I'm not scared. Okay. How do I turn the camera around? Okay. I fumbled on the phone. I'm not scared. I heard humming. I'm gonna open that closet again. I'm not afraid. Nothing can hurt me. There it is. I don't know what the heck. I had the security guard leave the light on for me in this room. And
You can clearly hear it, a soft humming, almost like a child singing a playful tune somewhere down the hall. Then a faint voice says, "What are you doing?" The flickering lights, the sudden power surges, it's enough to make anyone's skin crawl. According to Monica, she isn't the only one who's experienced this. Both security guards have also reported the same eerie humming and even voices coming from the empty cubicles. That night, after Monica left, one of the guards texted her saying a small toy pumpkin had been mysteriously moved to their station. When she was later asked if those toys were donated, she said yes. Some now believe one of those toys might carry a lingering attachment, maybe from a child who once owned it, one who never truly moved on. Others think the toys are acting as conduits, holding residual energy that wakes up when the building is quiet. But I'll let you be the judge on this one. In the following video, we meet Melody, a woman caught in a deeply unsettling situation that's been escalating fast. For weeks, she's been complaining about her back door opening on its own. Friends told her it was probably the wind, so she decided to test it by placing a heavy brick against the door. But what happened next was terrifying. By the next morning, the brick was gone, completely vanished, and the door was wide open. Later that day, she received a text message from an unknown number that read, "Stop ignoring. Is the brick still by the shed?" Moments after, her phone buzzed again with a chilling voicemail, a distorted, almost inhuman voice whispering something she couldn't fully make out. But that's not even the first strange thing that's happened. Just days earlier, this happened.
Okay, this might be nothing, but the timing is just not it. It was my birthday, right? And I got these flowers. Boom. They're dying. I know, that's not weird because it's me, okay? They die. No note. So, and I figured, you know, when it's my birthday, someone's gonna call or text me and be like, happy birthday, did you like my flowers? That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, hold on, my dogs are freaking out. Hold on. Back to the story. So today when I get home, okay, yeah, I leave a note.
If you look closely behind her, a dark, almost human-like figure seems to appear in the background for a split second before vanishing. Now, with the missing brick, the creepy text, the eerie voicemail, and the way her dogs bark uncontrollably at empty corners, Melody's beginning to feel like she's being watched. Some believe the figure could be tied to the property, maybe a previous resident or someone who once lived nearby. Others think it's something darker, possibly using electronics to communicate or mimic human behavior. And a few have even suggested the flowers left by her shed could be part of some kind of ritual offering. Whatever it is, Melody's story is growing stranger by the day, and until she shares more updates, this one remains an unnerving mystery. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. After running out of rooms where strange, unexplainable things had already happened, Ian pushed further into the building, determined to make sense of everything he'd seen so far. But what he didn't know was that the next room would add to the mystery. Watch this.
Right there, with the bead curtains. That's the door they literally had to remove because guests were getting freaked out. Well, it seems like they're gonna have to remove this door too, on top of it. If there's anyone in here, could you show yourself? Well, I'm getting orbs. And in this photo here, they're floating around. Oh, there's like a bunch of them. Is that you I'm seeing? There's one floating over by the door, the bathroom door. Are you standing by this bathroom door here?
Whoa, whoa. Those are moving. Those are moving. Oh my God. How are those moving right now? Is there some kind of like air current over here? I don't feel anything. There's no drafts. Nothing. No central air. Who's in here? Who just moved these beads? Talk to me. I'd just like to speak to you. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, I swear to God, I just heard a freaking whisper behind me. It sounded like it came from this room. If that was you, could you say that again?
Oh my God.
Ooh, that startled me. Holy crap. That echoed from in here now.
He calmly called out to any spirit that might be present, and then everything went completely still. No movement, no sound. That sudden, unnatural silence made him uneasy, enough that he decided to leave the room. But before stepping out, he set up a camera, hoping to capture whatever might happen once he was gone. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by a man inside his own home, but to understand why this moment matters, you need the backstory. At his workplace, he began noticing strange things happening around him. Objects would shift slightly when no one was near them. He'd hear unexplained noises he couldn't trace to any machine or coworker, and at times he swore he heard familiar voices calling out, voices belonging to people who weren't even there. At first, he tried to ignore it, but then it escalated. He started feeling something brush past him, then push him. Sometimes he'd hear the sound of footsteps running behind him, even when the space was completely empty. Coworkers suggested stress, imagination, and many who believed him warned he was paying too much attention. But when experiences start turning physical, is it so easy to stay calm or dismiss it? After a few months, the activity followed him home. Watch closely.
I'm trying to lay down, and these damn lights won't stop going on and off. And I'm the only one here currently. And all my damn cabinets are open. And my remote for the lights are over there. And they just won't turn off. They just won't turn off. Yo, what the f is that?
What makes this unsettling is the pattern. Many believe when unexplained activity moves from a workplace into a personal space, it suggests attachment rather than coincidence. Some argue this is how negative entities operate, slowly escalating, testing boundaries, feeding on fear and attention. Others believe it could be a human spirit, one that's not necessarily malicious but enjoys provoking reactions, pushing limits just to see how far it can go. If it's something darker, the goal may be harm, but if it's something human, it may simply be to disturb and intimidate. So what do you think? In this next video, a guy who's normally focused on gaming and making music finds himself dealing with something far more disturbing. For weeks, he's had the constant feeling that something is in his bathroom, not just a sense of unease, but the unmistakable feeling of being watched. What makes it harder to dismiss is his cat's behavior. The cat refuses to enter the bathroom, often freezing in place and staring into it for long stretches of time as if tracking something the camera can't immediately see. Animals reacting this way is often what pushes people to start taking things seriously. One night, after feeling that same presence again, he decided to leave his camera running. Have a look.
Oh my God, bro. I just seen the craziest shit. Look, over there. Over there, I just seen the craziest shit. Look! Oh my God. What was that? Oh my God, what is that? I'm like shaking right now. What is that? Look it. Watch, it's gonna do it again. It's gonna do it again. Look at that! Nah, bro.
At first glance, some people are quick to say it's staged. Maybe a friend hiding, maybe a prank. But if that were the case, the cat should remain calm, and this wasn't a one-time incident. According to him, This figure has shown up repeatedly over the past 2 weeks, always briefly, never fully revealing itself, and always in the same area. That kind of consistency is what makes this harder to brush off. So the question is this the start of something he needs to take seriously before it escalates? Or do you still think it's all carefully planned? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, then you'll definitely recognize this house. The 263-year-old colonial home, known for its creepy attic and disturbing doll collections, is a place many viewers have gone as far as calling one of the scariest houses in America, and it's not hard to see why. Over the years, the owners have documented a long list of unexplained activity, apparitions moving through rooms, heavy footsteps when no one else is inside, disembodied voices that seem to come from nowhere, and even their cat reacting in ways that suggest it's watching something invisible move through the house. This time, she decided to go back into the attic. The same attic with the door marked by deep claw scratches, marks that have never been properly explained. Have a look.
Definitely a little late with doing this because I don't want to upset the girls, but it is time to take off their little Santa hats and store them away for the year. I'm very, very sorry. And somehow the door is still open and I need to grab the gift and the tree. Chain check. I feel bad. Maybe I'll put like some Valentine's decor or something up in here. And I'm actually going to put the chain over here just for ha-has to mix it up a little bit. We all heard and saw that, correct? Oh my god, I feel like I gotta get out of here. Alrighty.
That sound was unmistakable. It wasn't settling wood or a random creak. It was the sound of a door moving. With the long and troubled history of this house, moments like this have sadly become almost normal. Some paranormal researchers believe that in homes this old, spirits don't always stay confined to one space. Some are thought to roam freely from room to room, while others attach themselves permanently to specific areas, like the attic. And according to her, every time she goes up there, she's overwhelmed by the same feeling, the sensation that someone is standing directly behind her. But the attic isn't the only place where strange things happen. Have a look at this.
I just had one of my little manifestations come true and I just realized it right now and I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not going to share what it is because it's kind of personal and a little specific, but you guys know that I'm obsessed with all things manifestation, all things journaling. If you're not journaling already, you need to be journaling as if you are already your future self. I wanted to show you guys my new journal. I always have a few going on, but do you like it? Wonder what that could mean. Stay tuned.
While she's calmly talking about journaling, something she uses to ground herself, the candle above her begins to swing on its own. What makes this moment especially unsettling is that this isn't new. It's happened multiple times before, and she's almost grown used to it. But here's the part she can't explain. It's always the same candle, no drafts, no open windows, and none of the other candles in the room ever move when this one does. Whatever the explanation may be, the activity in this house hasn't slowed down. If anything, it feels more consistent, more aware. And until something changes, this colonial home continues to live up to its reputation as one of America's most haunted houses. Now, in this next video, a man was in the middle of remodeling a house that dates all the way back to the early 1900s. The kind of place where every wall, every staircase, and every hidden corner has seen generations come and go. While working inside the house alone, he experienced something that still has people arguing about what really happened. Watch this.
The heck is that?
Hello? Who is it?
At first, many viewers assumed the simplest explanation, that the phone had been dropped and the man himself was the one spinning it. But that theory quickly falls apart when you listen closely. You can clearly hear him coming down the stairs, breathing heavily, moments after the phone begins to move. There's no way he could have been in two places at once, which raises the question, if it wasn't him, then what was touching the phone? Homes this old often come with long, complicated histories. Over the years, they've been places of celebration, loss, illness, and sometimes tragedy. Some believe renovations can disturb whatever energy has settled into a house over decades, almost like waking something that's been dormant. But until more updates are shared, and until the history of that home is fully uncovered, this chilling moment remains a mystery. In the following video, a guy starts noticing that his camera is picking up things he never sees with his own eyes. And what makes this especially interesting is that he considers himself a skeptic. He's gone back through the footage multiple times, trying to debunk it, looking for reflections, camera glitches, or anything that could explain what's happening. Have a look. He was fully awake when this was recorded, and at no point did he notice the light flashing on the picture frame. Yet on camera, it's clearly visible. According to him, nothing in the room changed while this was happening. There was no shift in airflow, no movement, no electronics nearby that could reflect or trigger it. From a paranormal perspective, some believe unexplained light anomalies like this could be manifestations of energy, brief visual disturbances that cameras can capture more easily than the human eye. Of course, skeptics argue it could be something far simpler, a dying battery, an unnoticed reflection, or a camera artifact. So is there something in his room that simply needs its battery changed? Or could this be something paranormal? You decide. In this next clip, a group of paranormal investigators enter an abandoned house, a place that's been left untouched for years. But almost immediately after stepping inside, things start to feel off. Doors start closing on their own, not slowly, not from a draft, but with enough force to make them stop and look at each other. At first, they try to rationalize it. Old houses shift and pressure changes, but that explanation falls apart when they notice something far more unsettling. Watch this. Some believe whatever's inside was warning them that they had stepped into its territory, making its presence known in the only way it could. Others think the activity was meant to lure them deeper inside, drawing them closer for reasons unknown. Whether it was a warning or an invitation, one thing is clear. Until more updates from this investigation are shared, whatever was in that house and why it revealed itself remains completely unsolved. Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his solo investigation at the infamous Squirrel Cage Jail, officially known as the Pottawatomie County Jail in Iowa. Built in the late 1800s, this place has a long history of overcrowding, isolation, and suffering. But one of the most disturbing sections of the jail isn't where hardened criminals were kept. It's the juvenile detention area. This is where children were once held. And over the years, countless visitors and investigators have claimed that the spirits of those children never left. Ian enters this section with one clear mission: to confirm whether those rumors hold any truth. Watch closely.
There's little children still hanging around here. Could you move one of the toys in one of these cells? Maybe if I sit down, I'll be less intimidating. You don't have to be afraid. I just like to make friends with you, and I just want to let you know that you're not in trouble anymore. You can go if you want. You're not in trouble. I thought I heard a little voice over here. Hello? Who's in here? Thought I heard somebody. Oh my god. Those mannequins keep scaring me. Well, seems pretty quiet in here. I thought I heard for sure. It sounded like a voice, like a little child in here. I'm gonna have to enhance it and see if a voice recorder picked up on it.
Some believe spirits of children are more likely to linger, especially in places where fear and isolation were constant. So was it a residual echo from the past? Or was it something far darker using a childlike voice to draw attention? Whatever it was, Ian didn't provoke it. It came to him. And in a place like the Squirrel Cage Jail, that's usually not a good sign. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now.